Okay, come on down the corridor as I give you access. Welcome back to the Forest Fabrication Wing. Uh, so we did have that little bit of a plan that I hopefully did talk about last time of switching to Tuesdays and Fridays at 8. I'm not sure if I described it as such, but hey, that's the current plan. So welcome back. Let's see. Oh, you hear me sipping on a drink tonight? Well, this one's a fun one. Sometimes we like to screw around with some of the stuff we find in the forest, and we happen to find some cardamom the other week. We infused that into some gin. We took that gin and through certain ratios and tinctures and whatnot, made a pretty cool gin matcha latte cocktail. So that's what we'll be sipping on while we learn a few things. Let's put on some stuff in the background. I don't know. Do you guys like hearing the ambient sound in the back? I kind of do. But I'm always open to feedback. Anyways, anything new learned in between now and last stream? Not much. We've been a little bit busy here with things that did not allow us time to practice. But we will be having enough time in between now and our Tuesday stream to get a few days of drawing drills in, so that way we can at least show you some of that progress. Also, the doctor will be putting in some work this weekend on some of those stories you got to hear about on Wednesday. Another thing that we learned, mostly by talking with one of our art friends, is that, the proportions of our initial little Scary Terry and also our keyless drawing here are off. Normally, the eyes would be lower, say, than what we've got here. That's mostly my fault for not enforcing myself by redoing the Scary Terry and whatnot. And there are a few art tricks I could do. Digital art tricks that I could do to fix that. One of which is literally just lowering it. Like, I could take that selection that you see right there. Yeah, I know there's not a lot of movement on the screen currently, but I could take that, select them, drag them down, right? Sorry, taking a snack too at the same time. Really good etiquette for a person. Literally, all you're hearing is his voice. You don't get to see any of this. Anyways, part of that is for security reasons. Part of that is for the fact that there's a limited amount of bandwidth that we can use to get to you all across the dimensions. So, part of me is debating whether or not to do that, to just take the bit we have right there and just make it accurate. I'm thinking, because we're drawing an elf, you can just say that they have longer faces than humans and their eyes are normally a little bit higher in their head. At least for pure elves in oh God, what is the big world called? Tal'Dorei is the country, I think. Tal'Dorei. Iman is like. Anyways, Matthew Mercer's Critical Role world, where his 3 main campaigns are set. That place. How much that is a thing. Now, most art you'll see won't be like that. It'll be like the gentle version of making the separate race seem alien, yet not. And that is something that you see in a lot of interpretations of things. You get authors who will go light on the differences between us and a literally different species. Whole different creator god and whatnot in their world, which might even be like actually what happened in that fictitious world. Or it might be just a myth to them, and they're all just biologically evolved from, and maybe they even all have common ancestors. Who knows? Depends on the author. And then you have those who, in their book, it's very clear how different they are. They are an other. The Lovecraftian horror genre does a pretty good job of that for their alien-esque creatures, of how they're describing them. I should say cosmic horror and whatnot. As influential as that particular author's stuff is, you can probably get almost everything he's ever written free out there. And I say that mostly because he wasn't a good individual, we'll say. If that's news to you, I'm sorry. If it's not, well, you know what I'm talking about. And that's all we need to say about that. But yeah, we'll waffle on that tonight. Another thing we might go over tonight is some of the other projects. So I know the doctor described to you all a little bit about some of the reports that he's going to be declassifying. And if he told me everything that he told you guys, I think one of them was the nuns with guns, as it were. And so one of the things we might do here, and I know right now, because we're not trying to advertise or even doing a good job of setting up schedules for our streams, and even not even tagging them or anything, or having a landing video yet. I guess we'll see if the doctor will okay us for publication of our bios. We'll see if our darker partner will even let us use his code names. That would be fun. And we might do a landing video soon. So at least that way you have a video that's not just a live stream. Yep. So we might go over, though, some of the not the art directions necessarily, but some of the inspirations we might draw for designs for a certain grim, dark story you might get to hear. Which will be great, I hope. Sorry, I should mute when I'm chomping away like that. Anyways, I know there are going to be some out there who will be all for our warrior nuns kicking some butt, and maybe even how it gets written. And there will be those who will say, hell no, you're not an official writer for the IP in your guys' universe. But remember, this is just a universe that is like what was written. I think of it like how Tolkien stated some stuff where, basically he wrote himself a somewhat clever, especially for the time, because no one else had really been doing that in fictions, as far as I'm aware. Hey, I'm just the translator card of like, yeah, no, this was an original text and all these notes and stuff from that era, but me, I'm just trying to translate it, and any inaccuracy should be chopped up to, oh, I just didn't translate it well, Well, for us, it's a little bit about our writing skills of what we have observed or been able to ascertain of these universes from the artifacts or incursions that we have to deal with. So we've got that. I think you guys have a fictitious organization similar to ours in your world that protects, secures, and contains stuff. Well, kind of feels like they went back in time and took our thing, or we took their thing. Who knows? Sorry, still trying to chat and munch at the same time. Really shouldn't. Let's see. We're almost at 15. I'll probably try and keep like the chatting with no action bits on these streams to about 15 minutes every time, if that. Always try and keep it always under 15 at least. And that's I might try and end cap it, 15, and have like the bit, and then if we ever build up an audience, we do 15 at the end, and that's the quick interaction with chat. Kind of be like, hey, nope, hey, we focus down during the meat of it to work. Maybe the occasional aside when I look up and whatnot, but we keep going. Okay, I'm gonna do a big bite while I get things fixed up. There's a joy and a downside to the freedom of nobody telling me how to do this, or an audience tells me what they want. I have to figure out everything on my own. So, let's see. Should we go for tackling the drawing, or should we go for tackling figuring out who else to do, and maybe even creating and starting a trace document? Let me look at how long we have left on the heads basics tutorial from Critical Role. Okay, there's about 30 minutes of footage left. Oh, I see. So, I don't know if you can see it on there, but it looks like the very next. Okay, yeah, cool. The very next episode will be about drawing the face. So we're mostly knocking out the major proportions, the geography, if you will, of no, sorry, actually more like we're working out the landmarks of the face and head. And the next two episodes will be about first the face, so putting out the actual geography of the head, and then doing the Loomis method, which is the one that I've seen most of the tutorials when you ask, drawing a face or under sketching a face and all that stuff. We'll quote the Loomis method, which we'll figure out what that is together. Yeah, fun. And those are the next two right over here that'll be coming up. Yes, in future I should snack with a hand that is not next to the mouse so I can do this sort of thing. I even could have. I have two different sided mice here, by the way. Really random aside. I know now we're over 15, but I have a left-handed and a right-handed mouse here. All I needed to do was turn on the right-handed mouse to switch over. No, I didn't. Oh yeah, for the curious among you, the doctor and I are both left-handed, and then our darker companion, or partner, if you will, he's right-handed. So, I don't know, just random lore drop that nobody will probably ever see because our first several streams are going to be super rough. So I don't know if anybody ever will want to actually come back and see these, and if you do, you are a gentleman or a lady and a scholar. My hat's off to you. I applaud your academic curiosity, your feels weird to say fandom, because I don't think I'll ever have one. But if I do, hey, cool. You get to see me before I had one. And if not, that's really not the purpose of this. And besides, I have a feeling out of any of us, the person who's going to get the fandom would be either the doctor or our darker companion. True fans of our darker companion, I might actually be scared of. And then fans of the doctor, hey, we'll probably get on chill. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I'm debating whether or not to go ahead and. Oh, I did that instead of this. Aha. And going ahead and switching where those are, because now while I measured my face in a couple other people's faces in between, and starting up this stream and everything, and checking out what their actual proportions were, or where their eye, the middle of their eye was, in comparison to the top and the bottom of their actual full head, including chin. And some of them who had a particularly long chin, they were pretty much dead in the middle. And then a few of us did not have a super long chin or whatever, and it was like, instead of half, it was like, 3/5, 2/5, right? So, you know what? Screw it. Art friend, this one in particular, got into my head, so we're just gonna move these eyes a little bit down. Oh, no. Okay, so now move it to this, I think. A little bit down. And zoom out and look at it. Keep it centered-ish. Okay, that does look better. Like, can we all be honest? It does. And it's just a, little bit of a shift. Just a tiny one. And it already looks nicer. Which is dope. It's something so, like, sometimes, especially for the person creating something, you alter it, and the alteration is not even a full centimeter or even a millimeter on like one little detail, or one little tint shift on something, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, that's amazing. So it's nice. Let's see. Sorry. Someone messaged me. I don't have to respond right. Click. Okay. Okay. That's a friend of the doctor who's a fun writer. And, you know, at some point, we might have him on. We might reference some of his work. He's been published in a few things commercially, as well as some things just for funsies. And the just for funsies stuff kind of is what some of us got started in this field with. Like Professor Quill, Cambion, it's a Cambrian. You know, and there are some names out there that it's like, oh yeah, you wrote it as such to really pronounce it one way, but everybody else reads it the other way. Like I think it's Cambrian. He's a fiction writer in some circles for you guys, right? And I don't know if he pronounces it Cambrian, like Cambion the demon, or Cambrian. I don't know. Could be. All right, you know, it could go either way. Anyways, let's get back to this, shall we? Okay. Anyways, okay, let's see. Let's switch this back. Yep. Okay. That there. So in the future, I will probably start doing let's see. Okay, I need to fix something real quick, which might some people. Oh yeah, in the future I might do a bunch more camera switching. Not cameras. Canvas work. Flipping. Okay. Okay. They need to make Babs's shit the bigger thing more often. Zoom in on it. Show us more. God, that's... There we go. I was like, come on. Okay, we're going to pause their shit while they're there because otherwise... No! See? What did I tell you? Like, I was like, otherwise, they're just going to remove it. It's like, you're asking someone to follow along. Hold it there, you know? And then if you're swapping to show what the student is doing, put it down in the smaller bit, you know? Put it down where you currently see Babs and Marisha. Not this whole, you know, hey, let's take away the learning shapes that we just got. That somebody would want to be like look at for a second, especially if it's somebody who can learn quickly. You know? Okay, so kind of a. I can't tell if it looks like it went from down here. Oh, shoot. Because of how it thick and thinned. Let's make that a little bit bigger. I'll have to just smash in there with pressure. I didn't pick up. I needed to undo my pressure. And then, yeah, we're going to cheat a little. Because we can. It'll get better over time. That's for sure. There we go. Okay, so got that. And then she kind of does the. Did she connect it? Yeah, it looks like she connects it. So she'll come down here and do it. I learned what the word was for that little bump not too long ago. Back up. Okay, so she kind of. I like the way hers looks. We'll go with that for now. And then just a little basic shaping of it. Okay, she does it a lot more like that. Okay, that's a bit much to me for this character. We'll just go. And again, being precious with or sometimes where it's a good thing to erase the whole line, sometimes you just want to come back. Now she's bold here. Let's see how that looks when I zoom out. And let's. No, too much. Oh, wow. One of the drawing drills that I was looking at, and that, I didn't show you guys yet, but I will when I start doing them and showing you guys progress, is when you're drawing like long straight lines, it's easier, especially for a beginner, so building up that skill, is drawing like short little hashes first and then going in for the big line. This is stuff that I'm supposed to be doing when I'm inking, that I'm doing right now. And I'm doing it with a paintbrush, not the pen. Anyways, better. I think that's better. Okay. So, let's do a little bit of fixing in here first. Anyways, sometimes I find that is kind of similar with getting a real nice curve line that your hand isn't naturally good at making in that direction, based on whether or not you're left or right-handed. Sometimes that will affect things. Just okay, so let's see. In relation to that straight line, which is not exactly straight. It's kind of just below that. I did that. Okay. So, kind of follow that. That's not at all what it looks like. Let's zoom out and see how badly different they look. Not too bad. More elongated Kinty bean on the left, which I think looks better. I could be wrong. Let's see, and a lot more parabolic of a swoop. Okay. Come down here and take away this. I could have just Control-Z'd. I don't know why I didn't. That'd probably be quicker for all you. There. Let's see. Okay, that's it. Okay. And then from here. Okay, she does a little bit higher up. Okay, oh yeah, I kind of. Yeah, enough for me. We'll hit play. What's going on? Oh, you're. Let's see. You're gonna find, if you're out there doing art tutorials that you find online and whatnot, you're gonna find that there are a bunch of different ways that people simplify shapes. Like there's a gentleman out there who has specific ways that he shortcuts male versus female eyes. I guess some people might PCify it with feminine and masculine, but we're dealing with anatomy here. We don't need to worry about that. Now, if we are drawing somebody who is, one way or the other, biologically, but socially and psychologically and et cetera, all the other versions of that could go the other way, then we would discuss it in those terms of, hey, this character accentuates more feminine features out of their blah, 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 blah. But this is me mostly spitballing with not good sleep, so we're... Oh, they're talking about the Wonder Woman. but yeah, it I can only imagine how tricky that is for college art professors, though, of discussing those things when they're talking about how to draw and whatnot, and like the rules of thumb out there and whatnot. It's like, we're just an art class. We're not a gender studies class in the sociology kind of the field of that. Like, I feel like a lot of people need to have more of a conversation than a diatribe about things like the misunderstandings or interpretations of intention. It's like, I've had relationships where we've attributed intention to an action, right? And we're backing way the hell off of what I was just talking about. We're talking about just in general action. Like, oversimplifying it. Well, he or she left the dishes in the sink because they wanted to make me mad, because I asked them before to make sure they didn't, and now they're doing it to specifically piss me off, where it could have just been, oh, hey, they were about to rinse off or scrape off or whatever your household's routine of preparing for a dishwasher is, but an emergency popped up or somebody called and he took the call first and was going to circle back, or the way somebody said something, or and whatnot. Because like, what is the classic example of that a lot of people tell every man to lie in a heteronormative relationship, or in some cases in homosexual relationships as well, or anywhere on the queer spectrum, where the partner asks, what I'm sorry, no, what does this skirt, do these pants make me look fat, right? And people are told, hey, you should lie and say, no, of course it doesn't. There are several different intentions going on here. And in some relationships, it's different. Oh, wow, I'm going into weird places with this thing. But for the standard stereotypical version of this question, the partner asking if they look fat in this are typically not asking if they look fat in this. They're asking for affirmation about how they look, and they do not want the answer to be, yes, you look fat in it. And in fact, it shouldn't be that either, even when you're being honest. And the partner who has been asked, their response, the intention behind it, could be a plethora of things as well. If they're saying, yes, it makes you look fat, two of the good intentions on there would be like, they're being 100% honest with you because you are asking them about this, and there's no intention of shame. It's just, hey, I'm giving you the honest yes that it does. So either you have to wear it with something else that draws attention away from that area, or you should get rid of it because we're paring down your wardrobe because there's things in there you haven't worn forever, whatever, right? And the other one is, they're making it a joke, and then it's all with the intent of being lighthearted, to not have it be like that, to be like, oh yeah, no, it totally makes your ass look fat. Or they're even saying like, fat with pH. And then there's the bad version of that where it's an abusive response of, yeah, no, it makes you look like all three of those major responses right there, very different intentions. So it's hard to figure out which one it is, especially when you don't have a conversation about that and you just have the knee-jerk reaction slap to it, slap react or snap react, however you want to say it. But whatever. We're going to go back to the thing that we're here for. Yeah. Okay, she made the asymmetrical ears look cute. Make it bigger so we can see it. Come on, guys. Okay. Oh god, that's gonna be a white ass nose, isn't it? Right. I'm gonna do the stuff that like it pains me to do it in this basic ass format. Well, you continue with that. Like I am too advanced that this actually hurts to do. Okay, we're gonna zoom out for this one to actually kind of see proportion to the rest of the face. And we'll go to the sketch portion of this. Go for the blue. We'll redo this because the exteriors look like they're lined up, but it looks like right here, all right, that not centered anymore. Like it's ever so slightly tilted. Kind of more upward with it. Nope, that's too far up. That bit makes it look too big, right? Okay, that's a little happy accent. But, we're just gonna give this guy a little bit of hair. Come on. Get out. Here. And this guy just, oh no, yeah, let me get even more cartoonish. Little happy guy, right? No. So I guess if it's easily confused for a smiley face, you might have done it wrong. Like I did. Okay. So zoom in onto their proportions a bit more. Okay. So we're gonna. Okay. We're gonna fight my bits, and we're gonna try and line that up with the chin right now. See how that looks when I zoom out? That's a white ass nose, ain't it, folks? Okay. You know what? since we're on the under sketch right now. We're not going to be precious with this either. We're going to say that this is ever so slightly like straight on, but slightly tilted face, I guess. And we're going to take the line tool. Where's the line tool? That's a ruler. Which, aha! I don't know if that stays as a thing. Okay. So there. At least that's my eyeball bits in it. Okay. Like the ever so slightest change of this. Here. That's a very slight difference in line, right? But to me, it looks better. Let's see. We need that to be a thicker line. Yep. Wait. I have to tap. I can't see the line. Okay. I'll do the blue there. Make this like 17. Make it a 17. Much better. Okay. Over here and see if there's a undo the ruler. There is not currently. But when I undo that, let's see. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like without this character behind it. Okay. So we're doing that slight tilt to it. Whatever. Put on the character again. And then oh yeah, we got to go back to the sketch layer. Brush to the region 4. Ah! Okay. How does she do that and make it not look like it's a fucking pig nose? That's also another thing I've never been really good at when I've done sketches of people before. It's like, right? Like let's see what that looks like about the sketch. Oh, I left it at blue. Oh well. Okay, but yeah, if I too far out, it's a fat ass now. Go here. And I could go the enemy route where it's just you only indicate one edge. Not as. Yes, I'm going without them telling me what to do. Okay, let's. Okay, that's I hit backspace. My bad. Trying to control this. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay. Show me up close. Is it the interior or the exterior of it that is more? Is it like that? Or is it like that? Like which way is it? Okay, so I'm gonna eliminate that. Show us close up because my monitor isn't that huge. Yes, this is going to be a longer chin than. Because I've got like oh. They need to show, and I think they'll learn later. I hope doing bigger screen to follow along, like where hopefully where they focus like on one then the other, one then the other, making it big with the example that you're going with. Okay, so we're doing the interior line, not the exterior line. So going a little bit from the center. Yeah, this mouth is going to be awful. We'll focus more on making sure all these proportions are. We're just getting the broad strokes, the fail practice out with this head. Oh boy, making her that bottom one. No, we're gonna try more delicate. Yeah. They've got more of an illustrative style than my natural habit is, I guess. Oh, hey. Oh, God. Her ears are so much better than mine. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna... Okay, so funny thing is, the reason that I was being so precious with some of this wasn't that, I justified not using some of the tools at my disposal. Out of pride, it almost feels like. It feels like already. So zoom out, look. It's like why do the thing? But still, let's see, sketches. In the future, I might change the blank background to no longer be the checker mark, because like that ain't pretty. It disrupts me a little bit, even though it gives you a grid. And like I've said before, big old piece of bright can be hurtful to some people's eyes. Okay, so not that. And you know what I can do is instead of I can just go get that lasso tool again. Oh no, we'll go marquee or rectangle. So that way it cuts it in a straight spot. Over here. And we're gonna edit, transform, retransform, which I should remember the bit for. Oops. Control that you have to hold the. There we go. There you go. Okay. Enter. Just look at that. Zoom in so I can fix all that. Come on. Good. Okay. Art tools are great if you actually use them, right? It's over here, so the whole add or not. So there's those. Not that. Oh, is that rotate scale? Yeah, scale rotate is there. Invert selection. This is bad. Oh, I mean, I found the thing that I needed, but I made it a free floater when I didn't need to. Okay. This. lines. Come on. You can't be the only one who's ever had trouble with the whole selecting or well, scrolling while holding down whatever it is that you're trying to move. Well, I am being so efficient in some ways. Okay, then we go over here. This. There. Okay. Alright. B. We just make these. Oops. B for that move. Because I forgot to switch back. So this. Come on. Okay. Under the chin a bit. It's feminine. That bit. Doesn't look like she's got the starting of a soul patch at the very tip of her chin. And zoom out high and see how that. You know, that's a bit better. Technically, that means that this line right here. That is kind of a meow mouth. Those are some big ass lips though. Looking like it to me anyways. So if we make them not so full, more like wide. So okay, now let's look at it without the scary Terry. You know, I have seen worse. I really have. And most of them have been mine. Not my own lips. I mean, my drawings of them. I love how they're like, we'll go and do that now with this stuff. Okay, actually, the way I just did that now makes it look like is it slightly open, like, and this will look creepy, but like, almost like, you know, partially open. That looks too Catholic, almost. But yeah, with Babs, it was, you know, a little bit more. Ah! Oh, again, do not support or deboost any of the ads that show up on here. My bad that they show up, but they do. What is this one? Sorry, this one. Oh, Dragon Air. I keep seeing that. I haven't really heard it. Yeah, that's kind of why I did a little bit of curve on that. The like gentle smile. funky ass moment. Yes, it begins to look like it's a mustache. I don't know why. Oh, no, that's why. I got a little bit of one of the supports on the stand that I use for this tablet. That's right where I've got this side. Fuck yes, it is right. Symmetry. Yeah, nature really doesn't do. Okay. Okay, so some eyebrow. I don't want to do the Spock eyebrow. I'm going to do a trick again. Roll. Oops. Not what I intended to do. Control C, Control D. Yes. Right. Not what I was trying to do. Okay. I guess I'll have to edit. Transform. Horizontal. Okay. Okay. So I'm not at quite where they're at yet. Oh, hey, we're at an hour. I mean, not an hour of actual drawing or anything, but you know, we're at an hour. Cool. Deselect. Oh, get back to the page. It's okay. Oh, yeah, go back to that layer. Ah! It's way thicker. Well, you know what? She'll have a slightly raised eyebrow, just ever so slightly. Better. Not great, but better. More. That. That. Away. Boost the archer. And then erase all the stuff that we just modified. Let's see how that looks in comparison to itself. Okay. It's one of the joys of being able to zoom in and be super nitpicky about everything. Also one of the not joys for all of you who would watch. This is one of those points where, like, doing the canvas flipping, so I could do the same exact motion I did on the left side, on the right side, which would be the left side temporarily. But that needs to be more of a arch at the beginning of that parabola. I like that better. Okay. I'm allowed my art, not yours. Okay, and then let's bring back the scary Terry behind. I'll go. I'm going to do a different layer for hair. I don't know why. It just is kind of nice for me to be able to do that, especially then if I'm going over features that I've already drawn. Then, you know, it's not going to be an issue. Okay. Rest layer. Raster, whatever it is. Here. Now, if you notice, they not leave enough room for a big hairdo. Let's see, they're kind of going for a little bit of a art. Yes, I am well aware that I'm not really drawing a comparison, but Goes ahead. This one. Right? That's not bad. Especially because the vast majority of the hair and curves back. Theirs is much better, partially because, well, they deal with longer hair than I do. More wrinkly. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. This time, I'm gonna do it with. Here too. We're gonna go for. Oh boy, you know what? Screw it. I can't not have it there. I am not good enough to draw the invisible top of the head bits. So what we're gonna do, go up here, edits, change canvas size, and just pull it up. There we go. Because I don't know if you noticed, but it started to feel like it was short and squat for the hair. And that was just not a good look for her. Kiki deserved. Ah! I'm going to do the whole undo, but I guess I'll just do the delete layer. Okay, we're going to go a little bit farther down. Because we're breaking a few of the rules of proportion today. Come on. Why is it not on the tool that I selected? Oh, it's because here. Something has frozen on this. I guess I'm going to hit S because I can. And hit up here. Okay. Well, hey, at least it hasn't done the C word that I'm not going to say. Like another. Oh, God, I can see what happened. Okay. You can't see it. But the new layer, it's asking for the properties of it on a different screen. And that's why everything else is like, no, we're not going to do anything. Because I went up and did a new layer. Slightly different flavor. Yeah, okay. Jeez. It's because it was stuck in between creating this new layer. I'm going to do R here. For red hair. Kiki is traditionally also red hair, much like Marissa's current hair. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna kind of emulate a few of the things that they're doing. Why am I making this into like a fucking bob? Okay, yes, I don't know if that's the correct term either, though. But yeah, okay. So why am I making it? Oh, yeah. We've switched up which one is the behind the ear. And also where the center of the hair is. Mix that up too. Behind the ear. Oh no, this one possibly go. No, they'll both go behind. He's a druid who's out there in the world causing trouble for herself and others. You know, so she probably wants to be able to see. So not having longer hairs out in front and being more managed by her antlers, antler crown or whatever, in the front, and then a little more flyaway in the back. Probably. Not that I know how to, implicate that. Yes. Not used to drawing hair. That, okay. Yeah, you know what? We're good with that. We're good with that. Let's see what they've got in the remainder of this. Part of it is also that. I am not going to give her some earrings, but that's because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, you know, this is good progress. This is one of the. That is a wow. That is a significant improvement for her. I mean, yes, Bo is a different character entirely, but like the crispness, the confidence, and whatnot in Keyless. Oh, not Keyless. Oh, here. Let's pause this and move it back to where you can see that. And I'll periodically also show like here's the progress. Here's what I drew all the way back then. Compare it to now, kind of a thing. Here, let me switch over to our broadcasting software and make this bigger. So, like, as you can see, I mean, you can't see my cursor going over it, but you know, her bow, which is the top picture there, in comparison to her keyleth, keeps in balance. It shows you what a little bit of practice will do, because if memory serves, these were pretty close together when these happened. And I don't know if you know much about the internal workings of the crew of Critical Role, but Marisha does a lot more work than a lot of people think. Same thing with with Travis, especially if you were only viewing him back in his grog days and weren't looking at the intricacies of how he played. But like, they do a lot there to put out this stuff. So she's got that other work outside. I think at this point, because I don't know how far off the ground they were for themselves. But you know, still definitely booking gigs, either as hosting something or doing VO work and VOVA, whichever one you want to call it, voice acting, and all of that. And this is not like she's somebody who's in between jobs and had all this extra time on her hands. Look at the difference between one lesson and 2 lessons. I have a little bit of a diffused version of those benefits, mostly because there is time in between when you see this, and I took all of this time over one. It's not as focused where you have somebody keeping you on task as some of my diatribes. Not diatribes, but tangents can become. Okay. This take is not awful. Let's see. I'm gonna let this play and see if there's any questions that pop up, something that's good for between us. Very important things for us to all. Yeah, like one of my art friends that I've been talking to, like it's nice to pick her brain about some stuff, just because she has so much more experience. And so, like, here's the areas that do you the most good in your foundation. It's great that she's able to tell me about those, and I get to focus on them. Because, like, she was educated professionally in doing art. I may or may not have been for a little while, but that was fabrication style art, not design level art like this. You know, where we're mostly designing 3D objects, not drawing people. And you know, for somebody who mostly uses chisel, sculpting rasp, or their hands in some spinning clay, it's not the worst drawing. Well, let's see. I'm not the only one who suffers technical difficulties. For style and for the actual methods, I don't know if you looked at it well, but like my proportion between chin and the circle, or the cylinder and the circle, were off. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to say, let's So it's weird how some things change model to model, year to year. It's like, oh yeah, they do have another nice thing there. That's something that I don't have, and I might not have for a while. If you see there by the left, yeah, her left, our right, and there's a little thing there that's a Wacom or Wacom, however you want to say their company's name. One of their hot buttons, hotkey, macro, whatever. Like that thing's specifically geared to be able to help you have pre-programmed keys for executable stuff on there. Like there's even a dial on it for like, hey, let's change the size of this or the gradient of that or the percentage, like anything that would have a slider bar, basically. You can program it to be able to interact with that and all that sort of fun stuff. I don't have one of those that's specifically designed for working with this. I do have one that is a cheapo one from a sale one day that maybe I'll figure out how to do, and maybe we'll get some content of figuring out that, because like I'm showing, if it's not a drill practice kind of a thing, or if it's not homework, or if it's not, you know, character design for something else, but if it's like just me learning a thing, I'm gonna want to try and include that in these live stream blogs, because you know it's a way to force myself to be intentional about it. Look at it a little bit deeper, talking about it in essence, or you know, that sort of thing helps learn. It helps keep it in there for me. Like some doctor show, and I've heard it elsewhere too, where it's like if you're learning a procedure, or if you're learning an operation or a technique, you know, it's see one, do one, teach one kind of a thing. And this is a half step of some of that, because like here I am seeing them do it, here I am teaching myself to do it, and the half step, half measure is talking about it and looking at it like I'm going along with somebody else, you know, that sort of thing. Let's see. We've got a little bit of time before I feel like I need to get off of here. So we've been a little bit ambiguous about it, but I'll switch over to this so that you can see it. One of those projects that the doctor's working on declassifying. Okay, so I got that there. Let's see. I'm hidden. Oh no. Another thing that would be good for the I can't think of words today. For that hot button programmable thing that I can't remember the technical term for, is to be able to have, like, when it interacts with this program, to be able to, like, hey, change the order, so that way, hey, I can pop up here. Okay, so now we switched over to screen capture. Okay, let's move this a little bit more so I can see this a little bit better and interact with it. Okay. Okay. I'm up on a different screen, so I gotta go back here. Okay. This isn't that project specifically. Although when you look at this bit off to the side, like whoever did that is some top tier, either fan art or professional character workup of the web novel for Solo Leveling. Because like there's a bunch of bits in that style that particular. Oh god, I know it's a mangaka. If it's a manga, so it's a Japanese thing, but manhwas or however you say it. I think it's Manhua. Please forgive me because I've never heard anybody ever say it out loud, and there aren't that many animated shows that their initial the original subbed versions that we get over here are in Chinese. So I don't have a good ear for the pronunciation in that sphere for that term. But anyways, this is one of the guys that I'll possibly be using for style influence, because like there's something in illustrative or in particular animation as well that you don't get in like say live action, which is the deformation of form to indicate action or perspective, or not perspective, like perceived motion, change how something feels. Like it'll look completely natural, but if you did it frame by frame, like that shit would not look real. One of the masters of this, and they're kind of unsung for it at a technical level, but like hell, it was one of the big three anime for a long time, so it makes sense why when you break it down for some of the stuff. But like one of the directors of animation and fight directors, basically, of the show Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I don't know if he carried over into Boruto, which every time I bring that up, I'm gonna say it again. It's not canon to me. It is a fever dream of what ifs, or the author's own fan fiction of how things could have gone. To me, it is not how it went. In particular, because you like Hokage, right? Sorry, diatribe here, but I'll bring it up now. The doctor and I have had many conversations about this, because it's a pet peeve of ours, I guess. Of when an author allows for the bulk of their work to not maintain not to maintain truth to itself, or maintain being true. There we go. Maintain being true to itself, as well as caving into popular demand from outside of themselves, or easily caving to your producers or your editors, where it compromises your creative integrity, right? Because like so many things, but just one of the few things about the whole Naruto being a bad dad, in that, like, this is a man who grew up, like, this is just straight logic to me. Like, this is a man who grew up without a parent, thought he was a nobody, no name orphan, had the disdain of everybody around him. All of these things where it's like, I know what a shitty childhood feels like. Would you wish that upon your children? Hell the fuck no. it would take a weird logic leap to be like, well, I came out strong. It's like, yeah, but that's only because people ended up caring about you before. You, and he also, if I remember right, from some of the stuff that I've seen clips of, even has a whole speech about like, if there weren't those people, I would have probably killed myself or turned evil, right? And like he gets shit for being a bad dad to his son, right? And this is a man who can make thousands of clones of himself when he was a young teenager, like long before he became a leader of all of these people, and was better and better and more skilled at his craft. But he has a technique that can make thousands of him that he can maintain for like at least hours at a time, if not days at a time, right? Or just redo it, like whatever, like take a nap, redo. And so you're telling me that this man had a bad childhood, can make so many copies of himself, doesn't just like leave one at home, like one copy that's there all the time. I'm always here for you. Not like always around them, not always interfering in their life, but always there for them. Like that could have been the fucking clone who like got into doing bonsai and gardening and that sort of shit. Like not even taking over other roles in the house, but just like that little bit of like, I'm always here, right? Not only does that provide them stability at home and all of that fun stuff, would also provide him with like, stability and calm experiences, because his base self gets all of the experience and knowledge of them as they pop away, right? It just right into his head. And even if it's not 100%, your memory of your own experiences aren't 100%. So fuck it. But that's my diatribe done on that. Okay, let's go back to here. So for those of you who Babs Tart. So here's some examples of her art, right? So she said in that little bit, she did some of the stuff for Batgirl for DC for 3 years, which is impressive. Here we go. And so like there's some of her art of that. Oh hey, there's another Critical Role girl up there with the lollipop. Yeah, some of those I'm glad are not currently set to show the NSFW stuff. I didn't think about that when I was setting this up to go through. I think that's what Catwoman. That's a cool little allusion to it. Not like actual solid lines, but like the ears there are implied by the unrealistic bend to the diamond necklace. But like, she does some fun stuff. Her core is pretty sassy. Okay, on to so let's see here. This should fill in the people who don't know what I was talking about before. But yeah, the hammer and war type of universe that we're dealing with the artifacts that we've received there. And so one of the things that we've got is the concept of, hey, you've got these guys stuck on a planet that is away from their original support facilities, all that sort of fun stuff. How would their armaments and stuff change over time? And so there are a few things like the power armor stuff. That's just a scaled down version of power armor that will be used by a regular size civilian. But I'm trying to think of what would happen when you scale people up to the 8-9 feet tall and higher, or somewhere in that range. And how would things look? Would we ditch the super bulk, go for a more layered look like this? I kind of like that, and it's also kind of like in shape, not in the face necessarily. But we've got some fun changes that could be adapted from what we've got technology, like what they have to be able to do there. And then this one is a little bit more traditional towards what our I'm just gonna say Adeptus Sororitas would be wearing. Like you can see the Aquila here as well, or the Fleur de Lis. Is that an Aquila or the Fleur de Lis? I don't know. But this is like more of the bulkier armor. So would we go in this sort of direction for it? Maybe in this area, add more mobility and whatnot, because while these will be genetically augmented individuals, they're still going to have the base of the female natural form and natural abilities, right? So like, it's easier to capitalize on their flexibility than it is to capitalize on the flexibility of a man, and in particular, a man who is bulked the hell up, So there's that, and then there's also those shoulder pads, because like this ain't so bad, but here's some funds. And since I'm not really, I'm just kind of critiquing these and talking about it in general. I'm not actually going to go with any of these at the moment, so I'm not going to do anything in particular with them. But let's go back to where we've got. So like, look at this one right here. Right? Just look at the straight-on bits. There are good things about this. There are bad things about this. The shoulder pauldrons, right? They provide great overall coverage for the chest and stuff. We're adding an extra layer, but they don't capitalize on some of the stuff that like tank armor currently does, where it's like, hey, we can be thinner if we're at angles that are harder to hit dead on. They're easier to deflect. So would we go for a slightly less dome like construction there, and still keep the curve, keep the size maybe a little bit, but have it more angular, like tank armor, right? That sort of thing. And then another thing we've got is deciding on examples to mishmash in art style for our lovely girls here. It's like, okay, that's not what I was trying to do. Apparently, I've got to go here. So, like here, we've got, yes, those are like the size of her head, right? But like hippie, which you wouldn't get from a lot of the who's the Marines of the space. And we've got plenty of different art styles here too. We've got the hyper detail, like here, that is going to be a long time before I can ever get to. You've got the close-ups of the faces. So am I going to have a majority of them have that style, or is it just from that chapter? Those sort of things. You got chibi anime, all that sort of fun stuff. Let's see. But yeah, this project, we've got some fun stuff to go down the road on designing that. So I'll be taking some of these fan arts that you see on this basic Google search of just Sisters of Battle fan art, and experimenting with it. When I have specific examples up that we're working on, I will make sure that I put either on the piece that I'm working on, like down in the corner or whatever, or in the comments, not the comments, wow, so many different words for this. The description of the stream or the video. I'll make sure to include who the artist is and if their own personal publication websites are easy to find. I'll include that there too. So like name of the piece and like if like say this one right here, that one says spiky bits. Well, if that's the name of the image on the site that I'm able to find it on, and it attributes it to Spiky McPherson, we'll say as their name. I'll put that in there, and I'll make sure to include who we're talking about. That sort of stuff. But there's a lot on here. Some of it will definitely be influencing how things look, and maybe my art will help with what's his face, Dr. Scribe's descriptions of stuff. We'll see. But yeah, that's about where we're going to leave it here today. Let's see if there's anything else here that I want to show. Wow, that's a not good version of that. Here we go. That's much better to show. See, like this articulation here, I might have a little bit more on that than say the big old broad Space Marine chest plate. Yeah, which is great for shrugging stuff off, but not necessarily for other stuff. Like, this one from, let's see if we've got it. Johannes Helgeson. I think that's who this is. Like that's a pretty cool illustrative art style, if I'm describing that correctly. And that's a nice picture in general. Yeah. Also, good news about this particular fandom is that it's been around for a while, and there is a lot of fan art out there and modifications to things. And let's face it, that wiki for these guys is dense, like super dense. So that'll be fun to go through. And one of the hurdles I'll also be having isn't just how do I do this well, but also how do I make this cross over the line so where we get like Master Chief and other intellectual properties versions of the term Space Marine. Oh, this is a nice bit. They'll also probably have to do a study of like sizing, of like the standard sizes of the chapters and the individuals and whatnot. It'll be fun. It will be fun. So I guess this is as good a place as any to call it. We've been on for a hot minute. We've been on for almost 2 hours. Partially because I was a couple minutes into the hour before I was able to get on. Again, we're going to try and make sure that this is every Tuesday and Friday at 8, mostly because that's when I have free time. And that's Eastern Standard Time. So for you on the West Coast, that's 3 hours difference or whatever? or those of you on Pacific Standard Time, I should say, because more than one West Coast out there. So, thanks for joining us at the facility. It's been a blast as always. I hope you had fun listening to my ramblings, and maybe learned some stuff, mostly from the people that we are following along. So, hope you all had a good one, and I guess stay curious, keep learning. Catch you next time. Okay, that was too good. Like I said, this is a learning in progress thing, so I kept returning on the backing track before I actually kicked you all out the door. So, you know.